Hello everyone, my name is Pratyusha and a very warm welcome to our YouTube channel National Skills Network. Today's video is dedicated to the recently held G20 Summit and the G20 Declaration. Along with the declaration, we will also give you a glimpse into the skills education system and vocational education system of the 20 member countries. So without further delay, let's get into the video and know more. In the G20 declaration, the leaders resolved to act in concrete ways through partnership and collaboration, and they committed to accelerating strong, sustainable, balanced, and inclusive growth, accelerate the full and effective implementation of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, and promoting sustainable quality, health, safe, and gainful employment. G20 declaration suggests structural changes to ensure education for all. The leaders placed their commitment to inclusive, equitable, high quality education and skills training for all, including for those in vulnerable situations. The declaration emphasized their acknowledgement of the significance of investing in human capital development. The leaders committed to recognizing the importance of foundational learning, which is literacy, numeracy, and socio-emotional skills as the primary building block for education and employment. They also committed to harnessing digital technologies to overcome the digital divides for all learners. During the meeting, support was extended to educational institutions and teachers, aiming to help them stay updated with emerging technology trends and technological advancements, including artificial intelligence and others. They underscored the importance of broadening the availability of top-notch technical and vocational education and training in all the countries. The leaders also reaffirmed the commitment to promote open, equitable, and secure scientific collaboration and encourage mobility of students, scholars, researchers, and scientists across research and higher education institutions. They added that the importance of enabling lifelong learning focused on skilling, reskilling, and upskilling, especially for vulnerable groups, will also be emphasized by the G20 group.
This is the high-level profile of education in Argentina, another G20 country. So it gives you a big picture view of what are the key focus areas, what are the problems the education system is addressing in Argentina. So you can take a look at this, and also there are some comparisons being made to other countries, and then there is a lot of statistics and numbers also that's shared on this website. So this is about education. And now let me quickly also show you this particular page, which is from this National Institute of Education Technology from Argentina. Originally, this was in Spanish, but I had to translate it. So I took help of Google Translate, and here we go. So this gives you details about professional technical education in Argentina. What are the levels at which the technical courses are offered, and about vocational training, the details about vocational training, and also how this institute is actually one of the agencies under the Ministry of Education, and it is carrying out various initiatives. Then we found this interesting report, which is on apprenticeships in Argentina. And here you get a lot of factual information. It's a very long report, very much in detail and dense also. But in case you are interested to know more about how the apprenticeship system works in Argentina, perhaps this is the best resource. So this is the report about apprenticeships in Argentina. We'll be sharing all the links in the document. You can take a look. We are now looking at skill development and vocational training in Australia. This is the government's website. So you can see that the programs and the training programs and also the various options for training are all listed here. And these are the featured courses. And the good thing here is that everything is classified so neatly that you get to see the right information as per your requirements. And this is again a very comprehensive website, which is giving a lot of information from the government's point of view, as you can see here. Now, let me show you another website, which is to do with the TAFE courses, that is technical and further education in Australia. This is one of the most interesting websites I have come across, especially for students or the learners who want to take up a course. It's very neatly designed, and also the information is very easy to access, as you can see here. And the way the courses are classified is so easy to use that the students can very easily try whatever interests them. And I guess they also have options for scholarship and other assistance. Now, let me show you a news item which was which appeared, I think, in January, where Austrade partners with CII to provide technical vocational education and training programs. Austrade, that is the Australian Trade and Investment Commission, has signed a memorandum of understanding with the Confederation of Indian Industry to provide TVET in various industry sectors, which is automotive, allied health, mining, IT, etc. This is a very interesting MOU, and let's look forward to courses which are offered in partnership. This is about Brazil and the country profile of Brazil to learn more about their TVET systems, policies, strategy, implementation, frameworks, and many other aspects of the entire ecosystem along with the framework. This is another typical research document from UNESCO UniVoc, very helpful to learn more about the country and also understand about their priorities and the industry alignment, financing, and other things. And when I said financing, another resource which I came across was this about the Brazil's system of apprenticeships and funding. This is quite an interesting system. It's called Brazil's S system. And you will get to know more about how the funds are mobilized for training and apprenticeship. And this may help us to learn more about the perspective or the insights from Brazil and apply it to our own countries. And then this website here, the World Economic Forum is talking about holding the first Brazil Skills Accelerator Initiative co-chair meeting. And this I just shared to tell you more about the kind of events and meetings that are happening from World Economic Forum and similar organizations to boost or to accelerate TVET and see to it that the outcomes are achieved. So this was sometime in 2021. Let's take a look at Canada, and this is the website which is quite comprehensive and gives you a lot of information about various aspects of skill development and vocational training in Canada. As you scroll down, you get to see the services, the courses, and how the entire framework is operationalized and how the policy is implemented. So I think this website is a very resourceful website to go through, and then you can also get to see how you can partner them and what are the services. And of course, how the entire system works in Canada when we talk about skills and vocational education. So do check out this website, Skill Development Council Canada. There could be more websites like this. In case you get to know more, do share the links with us. It would be nice to learn. Then this is an article which appeared in Economic Times, where we got to see some good inputs on what it means to do a vocational course in Canada. And some very interesting points were shared here. So we thought we should also include this. The links to these articles and documents will be available in the PDF that you can download from our website. This is the country profile for China that we find in the UNESCO document. And this gives you quite a lot of information, particularly the statistics regarding vocational education, the focus areas, the labor market and demography, and also the entire formal education system and how the vocational education is positioned in China and what are the key focus areas. So you can take a look at this page. We will be sharing the URL with you in the document. Now, along with this, there's another interesting information. This has to do with the announcement of focus areas for vocational education action plan for 2023 in China. So there are 5 important goals which China has listed out, and out of which the credit bank, National Credit Bank, is very important, and scalability and standard system also feature in this. And overall, there is a focus on quality enhancement. And we also see the establishment of national qualifications framework and, of course, the credit bank, and creation of pathways for students to enter higher vocational education, apprenticeship, and the use of technology. So these are some of the key areas that perhaps will interest you to learn more about China. Then there is this website which I found was quite useful. Apparently, this is from the government of China, and we could not find many websites, maybe because of certain restrictions. So this is actually giving us important information, not only about a few programs, but also there is scope to learn more about options for studies in China. What are the programs that are available? And are there any scholarship options for students? Like, for instance, here I see vocational leadership training program. And there is quite a lot of information here. So it would be interesting if you can take a look at this website as well. So all the links will be shared with you in the document. This is a snapshot of technical and vocational education in France, where a lot of importance is given to competencies. So you see here, there are the general themes which are listed. You can just click each one of these and check the details. So all the important aspects of the ecosystem are captured here. This is a good resource for researching more on France. And then let me take you to this France Compétences, which is to do with the competencies. And here you see the quality framework, which I think will interest most of us to check how France has come up with this quality assurance system in vocational education. So the criteria and all the quality indicators are given here. And the same website also has resources which could be useful, especially about the qualifications framework and also the apprenticeships. Another resource which we came across for France was about modernizing vocational education and training in France. So this is a part of a larger article where you get to see the initiatives that are being taken by the government to modernize vocational education and training in France. GIZ is one of the most important organizations in Germany, which has a global presence and works very closely with many countries in implementing their TVET programs. As we know, Germany is considered to be a global leader in vocational education and training with their model of dual VET, and also the kind of benchmarks they have established over the years in industry collaboration. So this is about GIZ. You can take a look at their website and learn more about how there are collaboration options with GIZ for various continents. And then BIBB, that is Federal Institute for Vocational Education and Training. This again is a government organization where you get to see the activities that are being taken up in many countries in collaboration, and also the programs that are offered through BIBB in Germany. Next, another international organization which has a presence in many countries is iMove, which is a part of BIBB. And this is again focused on training very industry relevant, latest kind of training in the top industry sectors. And they also have many collaborative programs and work very closely with the industry. And in case you want to get a profile of the country, the TVET profile, you can always take a look at this UNESCO UNIVOC profile of Germany. It might give you a big picture view of the programs, the policy, and also the outcomes of TVET in Germany.
Preparing for the future of work was an important segment in the Delhi Declaration, where the leaders placed their commitment to addressing skill gaps, promoting decent work, and ensuring inclusive social protection policies for all. They resolved to working towards ensuring well-managed, regular, and skill-based migration pathways, and reiterated their commitment to map global skill gaps and effectively address global skills for sustainable and inclusive economic development. They also pledged their commitment to consider the development of an international reference classification of occupation by skill and qualification requirements to facilitate cross-country comparability and mutual recognition of skills and qualification. Also, the leaders resolved to welcome the comprehensive toolkit with adaptable frameworks for designing and introducing digital upskilling and reskilling programs aimed to achieve sustainably financed universal social protection coverage, and consider portability of social security benefits through bilateral and multilateral agreements, support progress on the implementation of the UN Global Accelerator on jobs and social protection for just transitions, acknowledge the economic significance and societal value of the cultural and creative sector to support inclusive growth, sustainable development, and decent work, ensure adequate social protection and decent working conditions for gig and platform workers, and increase their efforts for the elimination of child labor and forced labor along global value chains.
Now let's catch a glimpse of the vocational training and skill development initiatives in India. This is the website of the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship that works closely with the Ministry of Education. And with the launch of the new education policy in 2020, there have been several initiatives that are coming up to mainstream vocational education in India. And regarding the schemes and initiatives, here you get all the details, how the schemes are executed, and also the outcomes and the plans for future. And there are also a lot of reference documents in case you're interested to know more. And there is this apprenticeship portal, which has got a very active dashboard, and it is used very efficiently by the industry, the apprentices, the youth who are seeking apprenticeships, and also the training providers and other stakeholders. So the government has highly incentivized apprenticeships in India. And this is the Directorate General of Training, which is looking into technical education, mostly from the point of view of craftsman training scheme, which is offered by industrial training institutes in India, which are 15,000 plus at this point in time. Another important organization is NSDC, that looks into various schemes, programs, fundings, collaborations, and partnerships at the national and international level to implement vocational education and training at all the levels. And today, India also has a focus on higher education in the vocational segment. Now let's look at Indonesia. For Indonesia, we have this document which is from UNESCO UniVoc. It's the country profile of Indonesia. The document is from, it's quite a recent document. It's from May 2020. And I think it's touching upon various important aspects of TVET, vocational education in Indonesia. So it's about the systems, the strategy, the policy level decisions, financing, and various other aspects of TVET in Indonesia. And it has this detailed framework about how the education and skilling ecosystem is organized in Indonesia. The next document is this, which is again like a summary of Indonesian vocational education. It's a brief summary. It may interest you if you wish to know like a small overview. And then I came across this important document, which is talking about how local approaches to skilling is fostered in Indonesia. And there are some key patterns and key aspects of the educational system, which is being listed here. How it is going to be a significant driver for economic development, and how the skill outcomes are important. This is also a recent document, so it may interest you. And then the last resource I'm looking at is the one from ILO, which is talking about bridging Indonesia's skill gap through partnership between industry and vocational education and training, which is absolutely critical for good results in any vocational endeavor. So it's talking about the industry and the training kind of collaborations. So these are some of the resources we found useful pertaining to Indonesia. All the links will be shared in the document. You can take a look, browse, and learn more. Here's the country profile for Italy and their vocational and tertiary education systems, which also focuses on STEM and other subjects. And this is a very brief profile here. And then it is followed by the details about the students who enter into the system, the kind of requirements, and how there is scope to improve the TVET models in Italy, and then also align it with the labor market demands and the emerging job roles. So this document might be of interest in case you want to just get an idea about the country, like just get a glance about Italy and the TVET system. And here's the profile of Italy from UNESCO UniVoc in terms of their TVET initiatives. As you can see the numbers here, it may be useful to get a glance, to give a glance here, and also look at their frameworks in terms of the holistic framework, the education and skilling components, followed by the qualification framework and the requirements that are there at each level. These qualification frameworks, I think, share many common aspects across nations, and of course, the formal and non-formal TVET systems. And there are also other links here which might interest you. So this is a good resource to know more about TVET in Italy. We are now looking at the vocational landscape in Japan, where we will try to understand how their technical and vocational education happens, but may not be in so much detail because the objective of this video is to just introduce you to the important organizations in these countries. And here in Japan, it is the two ministries which are responsible for the vocational and education and training sector. One is the Ministry of Education, Sports, Culture and Science and Technology, that is MEXT, and Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare, that is WHLW. So you can try browsing for these websites and check if you get more information. And then Japan also has professional universities and super professional high schools. And there are other institutions, like you can see here, there are details about institutions and also the qualifications and the programs from Japan. So if this interests you, please browse further and check out more details. And this is the country profile of Japan we found on the UNESCO website. Again, Japan, the statistics pertaining to education and then the enrollment and demography and the formal education system. So you can see that this document we are accessing from UNESCO UniVoc website. So this is again something like a very valuable resource where you may find more information about the national qualifications framework in Japan, how it is developed. And there is also a summary provided here. And next I move on to providing you information from another website. As you can see, I just moved from the Japanese to the English version. And this is about the National Association of Vocational Schools in Japan. A bit of history is given here. And also there could be more information, but I found it slightly difficult to navigate this website because it wasn't translating very easily for me. So you can check out, this looks like a repository of many vocational schools in Japan. So in case you would want to check out what these schools are, it's worth a try. And I can also see that they have their websites listed here. Let's look at Mexico, another G20 country. And what we found here was this interesting report, which was talking about the skill strategy diagnostic report for Mexico from OECD. So it might give a totally different perspective on the skill gaps and what skills are needed in Mexico. So as you can see here, the kind of challenges that are there in Mexico, it talks about 8 skills challenges for Mexico. And actually this document is very well structured, and you get to see how Mexico is going ahead with a policy and a plan to implement their skilling programs. So it's worth a read, the entire document, I would say, or at least the initial part of it, especially the way they have conceptualized the entire program. So this is the information about Mexico, which are listed under several pillars, and under each pillar you have a list of challenges. Then this is just an article about why Mexico needs more technical education. I think this is true of many countries in the world, and it's just that these media appearances and articles reinforce the need, which is a very good thing, and people get to know more about it. So this was published in 2021. And now look at this and now look at the country profile, which is a very brief profile actually, but then you can get more information here by going to the document which is listed here. So this is the country profile of Mexico. And this is 2018. So the document from UNESCO UniVoc as with any resource from UNESCO UniWork, gives you very detailed information along with the entire framework of education, the policy level decisions, and the programs that are getting implemented. This is the country profile of South Korea. For all of us who have been working in the vocational space, we are aware that South Korea has some excellent examples of implementing vocational courses at the school level, and they have many successful cases, and it's a successful model basically, which perhaps can be adapted in other countries as well. So in this report, we get to see a lot of details about the TVET systems in South Korea. This entire framework is shared here. It may interest you to take a look at it in detail. And also how the formal and informal TVET systems work in South Korea. Then, of course, there is also mentioning of the policy and so on. Now, one highlight of South Korea is the master schools, the high schools, which are actually helping many young people find employment, and also with courses which are very closely aligned with the industry. So it's a world renowned model of how education, vocational education can be aligned with the industry. So these schools are quite a highlight of the South Korean model. It may interest you to browse more and learn more about them. And this article is something we came across while we were researching. So we thought that it may interest you to just take a look. Here's the profile of the Russian Federation. So if you need to know more about TVET in Russia, the professional career-oriented education, I guess this could be a valuable resource. This is from UNESCO UniWork. And here you get to see a lot of numbers, stats about the enrollment, unemployment, literacy rates, and so on. And also we have the framework here, the Russian education system. And this is followed by a lot of information about the qualification framework and how the non-formal TVET courses are offered. As you can see here, there are more links. In case you are interested, you can browse, and this particular URL will be shared in the document that we will give you access to. Now, another resource which I felt could be a key resource to know more about Russia is the National Qualifications Framework, which is from European Training Foundation. This is quite a longish and comprehensive document talking about the qualification framework and how from the policy level, these qualifications are drawn, and the objectives of these qualifications, the expected learning outcomes, and so on, and how these qualifications tie up with what the industry needs in terms of how the skill gaps can be addressed from the industry and job role perspective. So here we go with the Saudi Arabian model of TVET. This is the website from Saudi Arabia, from the government of Saudi Arabia. And this is a very good resource to learn more about the programs, the models. In fact, this is more like a portal. It is a portal, in fact, and it connects you with various other websites which are important in their TVET ecosystem. So it also lists down colleges, the kind of services they provide, the data, and of course, all the other information. And the best part is the scholarships. So whichever website we are browsing, we see that there is scope to get scholarship for the students. So that's very encouraging. Then the next resource is this article, which we incidentally found when we were trying to learn more about Saudi Arabia. It says that Saudi Arabia ranks first globally in technical and vocational education, and this ranking is based on Global Knowledge Index 2022. So it may be interesting to know more about this as well. And then coming to another resource, The interesting part here is that it is pertaining to the most important industry in Saudi Arabia, that's the oil and gas industry. And this is a document from TAV Rhineland, which is talking about how the training programs in this industry are being offered.
The Delhi Declaration encourages women-led developments, and there the leaders reiterated their commitment to enhance women's full, equal, effective, and meaningful participation as decision makers for addressing global challenges inclusively and in contributing as active participants in all spheres of the society, across all sectors and all levels of the economy, which is not only crucial for achieving gender equality but also for contributing to global GDP growth. There, the leaders resolved to ensure equal access to affordable, inclusive, equitable, safe, and quality education from early childhood through higher education to lifelong learning and support the greater enrollment, participation, and leadership of all women and girls, including those with disability, in STEM fields and in emerging digital technologies. They also resolved to take steps to promote the full and meaningful participation of women in a transitioning world of work by enabling inclusive access to employment opportunities with a focus on closing the gender pay gap and ensuring women's equal access to decent work and quality jobs. They also resolved to promote women's inclusion into the formal financial system by strengthening their access to economic resources, particularly through digital finance and microfinance.
Now let's look at another country, that's South Africa, another G20 country. And here is what you see, their official website for skill development and vocational programs. A very comprehensive website, I should say. As you can see, the programs are listed here, the courses, and also various partners. And then the latest updates are also shared here. And then, of course, you get to see their models and also the apprenticeship and the scholarship kind of information. So this is a very good website to keep yourself updated and also to browse and check the recent developments in skill development and vocational training in South Africa. Now, this is again another website from the government. This is higher education and training. Here also you will find some information about TVET, like the list of TVET colleges and latest developments and some important documents that might help you to learn more about TVET in South Africa. Now, coming to this report, this is actually a database of South Africa in terms of TVET. And this is slightly old document, but I felt it might help in case you are trying to get complete framework and also the key aspects of TVET in South Africa. So if you browse, go down this document, scroll down, you will see the framework about the TVET formal, non-formal systems. And of course, there are a lot of details about financing, funding, and various stakeholders who are involved in the TVET ecosystem in South Africa. We are looking at Turkey's profile now in terms of their vocational education, higher education, and professional and career-oriented education. So this is the profile we found on CEDIFOP website. So it has actually a lot of information. In fact, these are all documents that might help you to get a view about what are the focus areas and things in Turkey in terms of their vocational higher education and also lifelong learning systems. So this is about Turkey. And then, of course, from the ILO website, I would like to share this. This is again a recent document, recent as in 2019, where the Turkish Ministry of National Education and ILO join forces to foster social cohesion through vocational training. As we are aware, Social reasons are primary reasons for which many countries are kind of struggling to put a system in place for vocational education and get the desired outcomes. So this was actually an event which was conducted in 2019. Perhaps there is a report based on this event you can check. Let's get a quick view of skill development and TVET systems in UK. So this is a page from the British Council website, which talks about TVET systems in great detail. In fact, here every aspect of TVET is covered in detail, and also it gives you a downloadable option to download the information as a PDF. So this is a very valuable resource if you want to get a high-level overview of how TVET is implemented, what are the parameters for quality, and what about the capacity building part of it, the training of trainers, the employers, that is the industry, and all the stakeholders. And then let's also look at this, which is the UK skills system and introduction. And this document again gives you a lot of information about the skills, the qualifications, and various parameters. And also it talks about lifelong learning and the industry connect for employment. Then let me move on to this professional organization, a professional body, Skills Development Board, which has membership option and also offers consulting services. This is Apex body, which is talking about skilling and also offering many services in terms of professional courses, certification, and so on. So here again, you might find latest information from how policy level decisions are taken and who are the key players who are implementing it. And this could be a useful resource for you in case you want to learn more about TVET in UK. In the US, we find that technical, vocational, and career-oriented professional courses are either offered from community colleges or in any other higher education program. And this is the website, that is Association for Career and Technical Education, which is like the hub of information and highly dependable resource. It has a lot of details pertaining to the courses, scholarships, and what kind of advantages are there if anyone wants to pursue professional and technical courses in US. There is also information about the scope for employment. And then, like I just mentioned, the scholarships that could be availed by students from different parts of the world, and what kind of courses can be found. And most importantly, why career and technical education is important. This is actually giving you a lot of information about the value of vocational and professional education. And then, of course, this was something which we thought of sharing because this was one of the recent announcements about US-India cooperation in education and skills development and the formation of a working group. So it may interest you to know more. We will be sharing the links in the document. And then we found this interesting article which talks about vocational and technical education in the US for international students. And there is a lot of information about how US defines vocational education and what are the options for non-degree vocational education, which could be like a diploma, and what are the programs in which trades, in which domains or industry sectors. So this is something which may interest you to learn more.